You know I gotta throw you in it, guys, because like I said, here we got iodine myth. This is about sublimation. Here we got plasticity. Here we got the Korsgen belt limit or some stuff like that. The challenge, escaping this kind of limit, which is going to get you into a lot of Penn's rows when you see these graphs later. Alright, so it's a bunch about Penn's row inside of here, and see how they're different. I mean, they're kind of all different, actively way different.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Research Methods Lesson 13, where we're going to be looking at choosing and
just
constructing
plasticity.
With regard to stress, there is only one stress, and that is stress.
As part of
There
the
is
A-level
nothing
syllabus, you need to be aware of different ways of presenting and displaying quantitative data. You'll need to know when to use, how to interpret, and in some cases, how to draw a variety of different charts and graphs, which is exactly what we are going to be going through in this video. So to start us off, one of the simplest ways of representing data is in the form of a summary table. Now, to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, these summary tables are used in exams to ask students to interpret a set of results.
You've probably seen this a lot.
For example,
Start getting
the table
good
on
at
the screen
graphing,
suggests
not
that
just
more
graphing,
revision
but
leads to
marking
better
those
scores
standards down.
because the mean
You
exam
want to
score
be
is
able to
higher in
condense
the
these,
condition
Kang the
that
Conqueror
revised.
psychology. Now,
However,
see how that's,
it has
as
become
a
very popular
psychologist,
in
going to
exams
hit you,
to include
Kang the
long
Conqueror,
answer
red
research
flag,
methods
right?
questions.
Normally
And
right
it's
off the
possible
hop.
that a summary table
But we're
could
using
appear in one of
Bernoulli's.
those.
We're taking out
You
the
could
congruency
get
of the
asked
pipes
to
and the
present a
triple
set of
point,
results in a
or
summary table as part
why a
of
special
research methods
element
essays,
like
or
iodine
even
still
as
works
part
to
of
the
a
common
question
rule.
asking
It
you to write a results
evaporates. It
section
doesn't
for a
it sublimates. It
psychological
doesn't
report.
evaporate.
And if you haven't come
Given
across
the
psychological reports yet, don't worry, you will.
okay, if the odds
that's
on
the
that thing
case,
said it just
it's
went straight
important
from
to note
solid to
just a couple of
gas,
things.
and there
First
was no
off,
temperature
summary
differential in
tables do
9.8
not
meters per
simply
second,
use
sure,
raw scores,
that's true. But you
but they
can
use
change
scores
those
that have
things with a
been
little bit of
converted
temperature,
into
so that
descriptive
actually melts
statistics,
in that beaker
hence why
and
they're
then
called a
subliments.
summary
But it's
table,
held
because
in a
the
very
results have
specific
been
environment.
summarized.
And so that
Also,
summary
it's
table is going
important
to give
bear
you
in
a
mind
lot
that
of
it's standard practice
values,
to
which somebody
include a
says, hey,
summary paragraph
I can use that again
beneath
later.
the table
Artillery,
explaining
tread
the results.
lines, management videos on
Now,
Prime.
speaking of
You know,
simple ways
it's hard
of
off the first one because nobody else
representing
gave up
quantitative
a
data brings
tile
me nicely
shop
onto
video to
bar
compare
charts.
against.
Bar charts
You know,
are
you don't
used
get that.
where
I was
you
the
have
first of
discrete data.
a
And
trailblazer
discrete data
out
means
there,
that your
D12,
data
making
is
that for
split
those
into
mills.
categories.
I don't know if they're training
Okay,
it.
so
I
your
don't know if they knew how to
example on the
pick
left
up
of the
on it.
screen there
A lot of the
is
way I had
what is your
problems
favorite type
communicating
of
with
movies.
Donnie and trying to get in that
People
video
are
of
only
what I
in
normally
one
do with the
category.
saws every day. I
Okay,
was
so that
trying
is
to do with
categorical
Steven as a
data.
master mason.
And when you're constructing a bar chart,
I botched
there's
it a
just
little
few
bit
things that
there
you have to
because all I
bear in
needed to
mind.
do was
So
walk over
make
the
sure
saws, but
that
I
you have
wasn't
a
trying to
clear
take
title.
lead. I was trying to
Make
give
sure that the
him
bars are not
that setup
touching,
to make
because
sure
the
he's
fact
doing
that they're not
his saw
touching
videos
indicates
because
that
I'd
the
be on the
data
tread
is
line,
discrete
right?
and not
I want to make
continuous.
sure that those
Your
recons
axes
and
and your
those
bars
incident
should be
reports
clearly
and
labeled and
marshmallow
where
for general
possible
relativities are set
operationalized.
up in the proper math
So as you can
equations
see
for
on the
them.
y-axis, I have operationalized my mean improvement by
Okay,
stating that
you know, we could run
impression
through this
score,
whole thing on the Hubble 45 of it
indication
all.
of both the direction and the strength of
I
the
can tell you a
relationship.
lot about the
You could
O-type
get a positive
stars
correlation,
if it
a
was
negative
just on this
correlation,
graph,
or
but the
no
reality is
correlation
it's
at
going to
all.
be
As it stands,
black
the
dwarfs
correlation that you've
to
got on the
blue,
screen
well,
there
actually
is a positive
supermassive
one.
black holes is really what's
now,
out
if you're
there.
asked to
But that
construct
line
a
is not
scattergram
straight,
in an exam,
nor are
you'll be
those
presented with
numbers
a study,
correlated to that
and the
system,
results from that study
but
will
they
be in a
work. When you
results
get
table
into
for
these
you.
other
You'll
indexes
then have to
of
sketch
other
an
values,
appropriate graph to display those results. But be aware, in many cases you won't actually be told to draw a scattergram, and it'll be
like I
down
said,
to you to
that was
realize
a good
that
one.
you need
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
draw a scattergram.
Okay, hold up here. Let me get back to, there we go. So, while we're looking at this here, let's hit this right here. So this is limitless A. Infinity, limitless A is equal to limitless, what could be electron, what could be A again. So we know that this is all the same, but we're adding an electron, or a motion in a position, right? And I want to say what this is equal to is actually this, but this is minus any motion. This is just the overhead of the saws, right? Let's get a picture in here about plasticity on that state, deformation of character inside of the standard when you get over to the motion and position values of what this is. When you get good with having a lot of those, a lot of this is going to seem simple. And then I got to find a terminal for it, because otherwise learning plasticity across all of this form is only going to be really great to this limitless infinity, and you might as well be doing how well you know the cosmic radiation background at the shear force, because between plasticity and strain, deformation, and it actually shearing, tearing, or breaking, given any other standard, are still basically the same thing when I test you on it, right? Shing, A, B, F on the standards for timelines and spaces inside of those situations, regardless of what this is, because this graph is the same as these graphs over here.
Or that's the appropriate display. Make sure your axes are labeled with units, and make sure
now he's going to go through this. This is a pretty good one.
When you're plotting
and you
your
should go
points,
ahead and learn some of this stuff, because like I said, you'd be on the video right now. I'm a high potential for over here. If you will, for a little bit of honor, M1, M2 against Pensrow, then you. Pensrow, me, you. This is the Z limit on the vacuum. It's going to change that again when you go. Pensrow, you. You do that graph enough times, you'll have field theory. You'll have that set up, how people respond to it. And like I said, after I did the tile shops with the artillery videos, hey, we could test our unit on that. Big improvement, marketing on that, recruiting for the Marines over there at Salted Dungeon and Dragon Island, right? What pops up? Salty or Dragon?
Is made up of equal sized
regular stuff outside that window, or
and your y-axis is the frequency.
You know, it's going to give us some value inside here.
So the one on the screen now,
they're all stonemasons. But when I'm doing managers in the stone mill, when I'm doing thermalers,
40 to 50, 50 to
there's
60,
a lot of stuff that is just. I was a thermaler, so I have to come off and watch that boss. There's some office stuff. There's handling guy stuff, situations of stress, how well you manage the 45 inside of there. Too high, too low, getting hot, getting cold, infinity, or the integral of infinity large and infinity small for timelines and costs over 2021 X today in the stone mill of arc sine, sine, derivative x. That's that one general did just at this. It's going to come off to 7 or Larry or something. And that'd be nature of the stone mill at that moment if you inputted some of those values in there for this system. But of course it's not. Of course it's not just going to be. Got to be coarse. We got to figure out what fascism is. That fashion, the flavor, charm. You know, general relativity is very fascist. Marxists, AFs, ABs, how far the trebuchet on that goes, because it will if that catapult's designed that way. And if the maximum zenith is found, the top limit and the bottom limits for what those things are. There's the saws, there's the runs. There are always some things in there with some more complicated equipment. A trebuchet does. There might be some distance, but as long as that thing gets the same springs, 1, 0. And then timelines on the artillery, 15 to 9 or 3 for the rounds going down range. So I want to try to make sure I hammer that point home for you guys to make sure you're not getting kicked by some math teacher. Making sure you're not leaving something on the board that when they say, no, it can't be those things you have to do in my technique, where's the N1 half? Are they keeping that with the homework on this for you? Is this going to come up to just something where I need to find out some damn fundamentals to this that is everywhere, easy to check up, easy to look? Or are they actually allowing you and helping you in some way? I disagree with the college method. That's an X number of students that all are going to have a career goal. They can easily be built parallel on single vector or single variable calculus, multiple variable calculus, Lapicants, gradients, tangents. What is the version of SOHCAHTOA in the stone mill? The trigonometry. What is the version of algebra in here? They're not just that I need all of them, but remember, there's a lot of kids in here that are going to come in from every angle. I don't necessarily need to take them down, but I got to have a wide number to be able to say, no problem.